Hello, this is WhiteHotToddy. Well, I haven't made a video in years, and today I'm going to talk about this lifestyle I've chosen with my girlfriend about 2.5 years ago. It's called the keto lifestyle, and it was recommended by our doctor, our family doctor, recommended to my girlfriend, and she told me about it, and I just knew there was something I'd say wrong with the way I ate, and I really felt that cutting sugar and carbs would be the road to take. So when she proposed that to me, I'd already done research. I already knew that bread was just not as good as we think it is for us. Just too many carbs, and so I went through with it, and she makes amazing food. She was a good cook before we started the keto diet, but she really got into it and bought keto recipe books and looked into the websites on keto recipes, fat bombs, for example, and bulletproof coffees. And I'll get back to that a little later. And so she found some keto noodles and recipes with avocado and recipes to turn to make because we can't eat potatoes when you're on the keto diet, so we make mashed potatoes with cauliflower and butter. So there's a lot of different things that you can eat that people have been creative into creating this really good food that's nourishing and that doesn't have all the carbs and the sugar. So so thanks to her. So on my part, I was about 230 something pounds when I started the keto diet. I lost 30 pounds. I was training last summer, and so I lost 30 pounds and I gained 16 pounds in muscle, and a lot of it could be well, according to my research, it could be the MCT oil that I've been taking. So MCT oil is oil that has one less molecule and therefore has less carbs. Okay, so I have to look into it to explain it better, but there's less not carbs, but there's less energy in the molecule of MCT oil. Okay, and therefore, if you take MCT oil, which is a saturated fat, uh, you can lose weight, and a lot of bodybuilders take it, and it's used to develop muscle. And I feel like I've developed a lot of muscle since I started eating keto. I think that the diet in general is better for muscle building and to have a nicer athletic body. My body, I was like, before I started keto, I was just going down the deep end. I'm 48 years old, and I felt like, like my dad is like 73. The one who made me, Gary, and he's a big man. He looks like a Santa Claus, and I don't want to look like a Santa Claus. I do because of the beard, that's getting whiter, but I don't want to look like a Santa Claus with my belly and everything. So the keto has helped me maintain or keep my weight stable. I have to admit that I still have a tendency to gain weight when I don't do physical activity, and I'd like to blame that on the excessive cheese that I eat. So yeah, you can eat cheese on keto, but a lot of cheese is very rich, and you can gain weight if you eat a lot of cheese on keto. Every morning I have a bulletproof coffee. Bulletproof is a trademark. People in the keto world call those types of coffees that we make with butter and cream bulletproof. Okay. However, I make mine. It's a special recipe that I've sort of like created over time, and my doctor had asked me to increase or to improve or to eat more good oils. So I started putting avocado oil and I started putting MCT oil in my bulletproof coffee. So my bulletproof coffee consists every morning of 3 tablespoons of table cream, 35% cream, 1 tablespoon of butter. I used to put non-salted butter because I thought it wouldn't be good in my coffee, but now it is salted butter. I can't really tell the difference. I add 15 drops of Concentrace, which are trace minerals, and since I started taking Concentrace, I don't get cramps anymore. So that was a problem. Some people that take the keto diet start getting muscle cramps because when you burn fat, you're flushing out a lot of water, a lot of potassium, a lot of magnesium. So if you flush out these minerals and you don't eat enough or take them back into your body, then you can have a tendency to cramp. Your muscles cramp. I would wake up in the middle of the night with like cramps in my legs, and it was like super painful. So I found that taking trace minerals totally resolved my issue with cramps, and I feel much better also. It's something I know that I'm diverting, but it's something you should look into. If you're if you're into the keto diet, look into Concentrace. Not necessarily just that brand, but Concentrace are trace minerals. I imagine there are other brands. I just think that I feel so much better, but you have to be really careful when you start taking it because if you haven't taken trace minerals all your life and suddenly you start taking them, your body will start, because it has all the tools to work all of a sudden. So if you give it all the tools to work, it's going to start working, and so for maybe the first 3 months, I was sick. I had like not strep throat, but I had I had a strep throat and it just wouldn't go. But so I took antibiotics and everything, but since then, since I healed, I feel so much better. I just feel for the last 4 or 5 months, I feel great. So more energy. I can last longer days in keto with the keto diet in general. I last the whole day. Before, because I work a job that I talk all day and I have to think all day. I can't make mistakes. I got to be perfect. That can be super get you really tired. It can be fatiguing. So the keto diet helps me last the whole day. I'm not tired at 3 p.m. anymore. I actually started sleeping properly. I used to have a hard time sleeping. I used to drink Coca-Cola like you wouldn't believe it. I couldn't sleep very well. Now I fall asleep at 9:30, 10. At any time I actually go to bed, I'll fall asleep right away. And I'll sleep 7, 8 hours a night. I used to have a hard time sleeping 4 or 5. So that really improved my life. I would recommend that you look into the keto diet. It's not something that you can just do overnight. You gotta research it. You've got to understand the research moves. It's never no truth is ultimate. I guess there is, but the more research you do, the more you find stuff. You see that some things work for you, other things don't. What works for one person might not work for the other. So I know that my girlfriend lost 50 pounds. I lost 35 pounds, and I feel like I play in a rock band called Samsara, and I used to not have the energy to spend the whole evening, to last the whole evening, and now I do. And I don't really train. I was training last summer and I sort of stopped, but I still have the energy that I didn't have before. So it feels like I'm young. I'm younger than I used to be last year or 2 years ago. So there's no question about it to me that keto is the way to go. I had my blood works done, and my cardiologist was super impressed. He told me don't stop your medication, don't stop your medication. It's, he thought that I'd stop because my blood's so much better. He says, but he congratulated me on my lifestyle change, and because I was addicted to poutine, fries and cheese and sauce. So now once in a while we have the poutine, but without the fries. Add vegetables. Make sure that the sauce is low carb. The cheese, no carbs or practically no carbs in that. No lactose practically. It's excellent. So another thing that you cut when you eat keto is gluten. I don't eat gluten anymore. So I don't know if I had celiac disease. I just sent out for the 23andMe. I'll see what the results, what it could be. But I didn't feel very good when I ate bread. I didn't feel good when I ate anything that was wheat related. And since I stopped eating wheat, that, I feel much better also. So no, so what do I eat? I can eat, well, of course, meat and vegetables, and of course, bacon. You need to eat a lot of salt when you eat keto because salt has a role in helping you with your energy, with your electrolytes. And so I eat a good amount of salt. I don't add salt, but I'll eat salty foods. A lot of nuts. Nuts can be fattening, so I got to be careful with that, especially pistachios, which I really like. Cashews, I really like, but that's fattening. So I'd recommend Brazil nuts, walnuts, and almonds. Now, another thing you got to be careful of when you eat nuts is the phytic acid that can deplete magnesium. Phytic acid, when you eat nuts, it binds to magnesium in your body, and you may be eating nuts and depleting your magnesium by eating these nuts because of the phytic acid. So how do you remove phytic acid in nuts? Is to put it in water. You have to soak the nuts, soak your nuts in water, and that removes the phytic acid. So and therefore, when you eat the nuts, you'll actually assimilate the magnesium instead of depleting it from your body. So there's a lot of little things to know. You say, "Wow, where'd you get that information?" Well, do research. Nuts have a way to defend themselves from animals eating them, and one of the things is phytic acid. So if you eat too many nuts without soaking them, you're going to deplete your magnesium. Okay, so or eat nuts and have concentrates to make sure that you put your magnesium back in your system. Because without magnesium, without potassium, we're nothing. I mean, our heart uses potassium and magnesium to operate properly. Our bones, it's so essential. Okay, so make sure you eat that, and make sure that the vegetables and that the food that you eat is rich in those minerals. So yeah, so look, this is 13 minutes. There's so much more that I could say, I imagine, but I'll cut this video short. If you've got any questions, I'll ask you to ask the questions below. If there's anything that I touched on that you want me to expand on, I will make other videos if you want. I'll ask you to like the video if you agree or like what I had to say, or if you learned something, or subscribe if you want to get more information. When I do make more videos, I plan to make more videos there in the near future. Yeah. So thanks for listening to WhiteHotToddy, and nice to see you again. I know it's been like, I don't know, what, 8 years, 7 years since I made a video. So nice to start over again. Okay, so have a good evening, and thanks for listening. Bye bye.